everyone, Joshua Hanlon here, and I'm in the middle of the Great Ball Contraption layout here at Brick Slopes, and I'm joined by one of the builders of the layout. If you want to introduce yourself, and then we'll meet some other builders along the way.
Hi Josh, yep, I'm Neil. I'm the theme coordinator for GBC and Technic here at Brick Slopes. So a good year, we've grown our loop again from last year. We're now at 16 builders, 88 linear feet of modules. That's about 69-ish modules through the course of the day. So it's good to be here, and it's good to be growing significantly compared to last year. I think we were half the size, so it's a real growth spurt for us. So we'll have a look at some of the modules as we go around and meet some of the builders.
Start here at this very impressive bridge, and that moves into this crazy Ferris wheel.
Absolutely, yeah, the Ferris wheel is brilliant. So that's by a new member to our GBC group here, Alex. So Alex, you want to tell us about your builds?
I'm Alex. I'm with the Lug Vegas, and this is my GBC Ferris wheel. It's 4 feet and 3 inches tall, and the diameter of the wheel is about 3 feet 8 inches.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So take us through kind of the general design process of this and how this came together for you.
Well, first I started with the stepper module right here and kind of built out that way. I basically copied the front of this and then made the back of this. So the wheel was probably the hardest part to build. So I used these sprockets with chain link around it, and then I added the chain link around the whole thing, which actually drives the wheel down here.
Okay, so this is kind of the central driving point here.
Yeah, this is how the wheel moves.
And how smooth has this been running for you with the show so far?
It's actually been very reliable. I'm very proud of it.
Okay.
Usually, well, my last show, it was very jerky, but I was able to figure out it by making it go faster, basically.
Yeah, I love that. Great work. Thank you so much for bringing this out.
Thank you.
We'll go on from there then.
All right, so Alex's builds are feeding into Kevin Mitchum. So Kevin is out of Washington State. Kevin, tell us about your build.
Well, this is the adequate ball contraption, because I believe in managing expectations. We've got the inadequate stage going all the out adequate stage. I've got a version of this reservoir module that was designed by Alex, not that Alex, different Alex, but it's really great because it's got the modes, the ability to stop. So when my adequacy is challenged, I can pause here, come out fast or slow, with the intention of this being one of the slowest things on the table, because that hopper will not quit. I could put probably not all the balls, but I cannot overflow that hopper realistically. We'll spill more than that. Then we're coming back to Sidewinder, which you guys have seen before a number of times, which means it doesn't suck too much. It does roll balls out a little bit, but you can see I've got some little ramps there to catch them. So not a problem. Little balls get a break, it's reasonable.
The more times we see a module, that just means it's a more reliable module.
Exactly. There's a little evolutionary pressure. Once again, we have push it real good, which is the most simplest push arm there, but lots of people understand it and they like that, so that's good. Here we have a experimental rebuild. This is the towers that I use for my train, but I'm lazier than bringing a train here this time, and it's been working pretty well, except for the parts where the paddles fall off. And this is the part that has always been working. It did not fail less than 5 minutes ago. This is my blue baller. The old, you might remember it again, it separates the Zamfir spheres out from the real balls. And I rebuilt the old hopper because the old conveyor belt was not great. The new conveyor belt's just fine. The hopper is a little challenged. No, it's always been perfect. It absolutely did not dissolve 10 minutes ago. And then here we have the one my wife designed, which you cannot kill with an axe, except for the part where the motor started squealing not 10 minutes ago. But mechanically, it's just fine. Then here we have the out adequate, where once again we have the transmission and everything else. So whenever Neil has a problem, which almost never happens because he's flawless, we can just go into neutral, accumulate balls here, and go on. And then we have all the example modules so we can get people in the crowd hooked. Because if you're not doing ball contraption, I don't know what you're doing. Right. Back to Neil for a long time.
Great work, thank you.
All right. Thanks, Kevin. So we're now into a section of my builds, starting off with a very appropriately colored version of last year's Brick World workshop module. I love this module. It's great. You turn it on, you leave it. You don't need to worry about it. That's what we really want to see from modules. Then we got a section of a few that you've seen before. My ice hockey module. You'll notice that only 2 out of 3 of the players are currently spinning. The very final one, he's had a hard day.
We have some injured reserves.
Yeah, he's given up the ghost for today. I got to strip him down and fix him up overnight. And that is then feeding into my Mario Kart Rainbow Road. I love this one. It's a crowd pleaser. Kids come up, they have a look around. The really little ones are at a right height, just above the stanchions, to be able to see in the back and see that we have Bowser tucked away in there, scaring the balls as they come in. And so the kids love to just look down and say, "Oh, look, there's Bowser." Well, that's the kind of thing we're really aiming for with the kids, to get that interaction. Moving on from Mario is a new build for this year. This is a version of this year's Brick World picker module. I've skinned it up, given the two pickers a couple of faces. We've got a cow and a bear, so now it's feeding time. You may notice that the pig and the bear, the pig is being very picky today. So we're using a mix of standard Lego balls and brick loot balls to give us the number that we need. The pig does not like the brick loot balls and is being super picky at grabbing those. So moving on from that into a version of the Brick Slopes workshop module from a couple of years ago. And then that's feeding my Fabuland wheel. As a fan of Fabuland, I'd like to have something like that in. And that is a simple rotation wheel feeding into what I call cannon fire. So I had this in Portland and it had a really bad time. Took it home, it had a full rebuild. It is in much better condition today. So it is running quite nicely. Pumps the balls up into the cannon and they come out the end into the next module. Next module is a very simple donkey pump that you'll see all over North America pumping oil. It works very efficiently just to lift up and down that small step, and that's feeding into the conveyor that feeds the ball pit. And as you can see, we've got the public working away, feeding balls into the next stage of the modules.
It looks like they're being very effective today. There's not that many in there.
We got some really good drivers here. I've noticed that it's never very full this weekend. They're being very good at driving it. I'm going to have to change the controls and make it more difficult. So that feeds into a hopper, which is the Brick Fair Virginia 2017 module with some extra wings. Moving into one of my new modules for this year, which is my garbage ball contraption. So we got a couple of the big garbage bins from Lego City, and going up and down, and then tucked in between them is a collection of trash cans, and obviously everybody's favorite, a couple of trash pandas hanging around. It's just a nice simple module that tips balls from one bucket to the next. The one after that is Little Drum. This is one that's been around the community for a while. It's a simple rotation module, and I use that as the inspiration for the Brick Slopes 2025 convention module, which we'll see later on in the loop. So going from that, we're into the first of two of Pinwheel's Sidesteppers, another great problem solver module. We had other things in there at the start of the day yesterday. Very quickly they failed. In go the Pinwheel modules, and they're bookending a whirly gig by Matt Norman. So the second of Pinwheel Sidesteppers is feeding into a section by Roxanne here. So Roxanne, tell us about your modules.
Hi, my Elsa Ice Queen module is a fan favorite that's been at many shows now. It's feeding into the GBC from last year that Neil designed.
I love the big Brick Slopes logo in the side there.
I have another one that has it in alien colors with all the little aliens, but it broke as soon as I got here. I drive in from Omaha, so things don't last very long. And then finally, my Long and Winding Road module is a fan favorite too.
All the coloring is very fun, and then the theming with the Frozen one here. So I love the way that you approach kind of the decorative style of the modules.
I try to make them a little girly too. I want more girls to get and women to get involved with building GBC.
Yeah, great work. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so in the corner here, we currently have a chopper module sitting on the table. This is James Lewis. He's had a lot of problems with it this weekend. He's been working away trying to problem solve it. I'm hoping that it'll be in the loop before the end of the weekend so we can really see it running. because everybody likes a good Star Wars themed module. So while that's underway, we're bypassing with a couple of ramps. We've got a dozer bucket that has been in use a number of times. Another Brick Fair Virginia module from a couple of years ago. And then a simple conveyor lift and a long ramp. Previously in this section, we had a Harry Potter build that had another hard time. That was Christy Lewis. She worked diligently all day yesterday trying to get to work, but by the end of the day, she sort of called it quits and said this just needs a full rebuild. So she's taking it away to get it rebuilt. So
there's really no problem a long ramp can't solve with GBC.
No, there isn't. And what we can see along the front is the remains of Christie's build, where it was all the Harry Potter figures. So the kids are coming up and they got Harry Potter figures and Harry Potter build. It was like 2.5 feet tall and 4 feet long. It was very impressive.
I'm sure it will make an appearance at some point in the future.
I really hope so. I really, really hope that Christie works the problems and gets it to another show, because I think the people will really enjoy it once all the kinks are worked out. So now we're into a series of lovely colourful modules by a local builder called Sarah. So she's new to the GBC group as well, and she's built a lot of these, and most of them are on shared power. So you can see we've only got a couple of motors at the back here, but we've actually got 6 different modules, so they're running on shared power. They've been great. This blue one in the middle here, this has shredded a number of bevel gears this weekend. I think we're under the 3rd one so far, and we're only halfway through. So we'll see how that fares. But a bevel gear or 2 here and there is an easy price to pay for nice modules for people to look at. And so these are feeding into Steve's modules. So Steve, you want to come up and give a talk through your stuff?
Hi, I'm Steve Nedswick with Vegas Slug, and I brought with me an Akiyuki Type 2 train with some modifications. Obviously, we themed it to one of my favorites, Blacktron.
Yeah.
So it's pretty reliable. L motors with rechargeable batteries, and it pretty much runs all day. And I've got 2 on the side to put in there for when these run out.
So tell us a little bit about how the system works here, how these trains communicate.
So the trains are motorized. These are not. Each of the modules on the ends are motorized by the train. So and then they have these little stop units that time it, and then the trays on the top are all removable. And then in the middle here is a timing to keep them from running into each other, and they initiate each other once they hit the middle. Mm-hmm. So we keep any crashes from happening.
The theming is fantastic. Even the track itself being themed, I think, great job there. I love that.
Yes, I had to have that. It's just because they don't make black track unless you get the 3D printed stuff, which I don't know if they even do for that. So I themed this for you guys this year. You actually gave me a sticker last year. I asked you for one, so I themed it for you guys.
Thank you. I love it. Iconic colors.
Yes. This is a stackable module. I don't know what year, but it was, I think, a BrickCon module. Okay. So it's my 2nd module I ever built. This is our workshop module for this year. I'm sure you've seen that over there. This is an Akiyuki Zigzag, and I modified this thing a lot. It's pretty much completely different, and I turned it so that you could actually see. It was turned 90 degrees the other way originally, so you couldn't see the action. So I turned it so it would actually run properly and you could see it. So you don't hardly see too many of these, so I'm pretty proud of that one. Next is, you never see a lot of these out in the wild either. This is an Akiyuki version 3 ball factory, and I had just put this together for this convention. It took me probably 2 months to get this thing running smooth like this, and it's been running pretty good. So it's got 15 different synchronized functions in it. It's got about over 4,100 parts, and it is phenomenal.
Just watching this, factory conveyor belt style of this is so mesmerizing to see every part work.
There's actually 2 components to it. You have to get the buckets working properly before you can get the balls to get in there to work properly. So getting it tuned was quite a bit. But I give thanks to Bert Hill. Bert Hill actually rebuilt this version 3 from Akiyuki's original flat one that you can't move. This is all one piece you can lift up. And in fact, what's nice about this unit is you can hand crank it. And if you want, I mean, if you want to try it out,
Wow.
see how easy it is to move.
There you go. So if for some reason a motor fails, just all day, stand here.
This all day, yes. I do a lot of testing with that thing, but yeah, you could sit, I mean, you don't want to, but. This is an Armed and Dangerous original design from John Sherman, and then Coastalopolis from overseas. I borrowed this plan from him, and then made everything else to my, colors and stuff like that. So it's every little thing, we build upon in GBC, so we put a little bit of our own stuff in there. This is last year's Brick Slopes work module, and I themed it to Let It Grow, so all the stuff on the other side is Let It Grow, and did a few mods, and this thing's been rock solid the whole time. This right here is my very first module, and a little story to this. My son, who just graduated college, was in college a couple years ago and stole a bunch of parts out of my parts bin. Put a little letter in there and got the instructions and said, here, Dad, you need to get started in GBC. So that was my first module, and this is what my son got me into.
He clearly knows you very well.
Yeah, right here. And he built his first one over there, the workshop one. And he's got ideas. He wants to build he wants to start getting involved with this now because he's having so much fun. This right here is two turning arms by Lego Marble Run, and I did some modifications on this because I wasn't really happy with the way it was running, and now I got it to run pretty good. This module right here is one I love. It's by Sawyer, but I removed a bunch of stuff. There was beams right here in the way of the forks, so I moved those so you could actually see it. And then I themed it my color because I liked all the two-arm action, so I themed all these the same. This is two turning arms. Or excuse me, dual lifting arms by Next Step 101. This thing completely looks different. This thing was on a plate and it stopped right here. So it had no input going in. I didn't understand that. So this was my third module and it failed miserably. So now I've got it running really well. So I rebuilt that. This is a 4x by John Sherman, and I added a longer hopper to it so that the balls wouldn't get in the way of the forks. So, and then I add a little bit on the front. You always add on to them to get them going, but that ends it for me, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Great work. Thank you so much.
All right, so next set of builders is Lauren from Las Vegas. Over to you, Lauren.
Hey, great to see you guys again. This is the Nana King from a couple of years ago at Brick Slopes. I'm sure you've seen it in previous videos. Made some modifications over the last couple of years and added some things, tweaked it, whatever, into a Brick Slopes module from a couple of years ago. Then into the Akiyuki style, what do they call them? Pole dancers or whatever you want to call them. These are the whirling dervish, I call them, because I dressed them up with that color scheme. So for the screw tops going all the way to the top, and then I put some minifigs on the top just to give it a little bit of pizzazz. Then into a Lowry style hole-in-one golfing, mini golf. We're probably going to try to shoot for 18 holes next year. So anybody who wants to come, I'm more than happy to come and help you. Come here and bring one of these, and we'll set you up with an 18-hole golf course. And then this is the modification of the throne. I'm sure many have seen it before. This is my version. It's a classic space style. Got some different signs and everything else. After a couple of hours, after a couple of days, it gets a little tired, so I had to leave the flusher open. So normally it would flush after 3 or 4 balls, but it's not working very well this time around. So this then goes into the module here for the Brick Slopes module for this year, and then into another module which seems to be jammed up at the moment. So I'll have to fix that, but then I'll turn you over to Randy. Randy, thank you.
This is my bucket wheel excavator, basically a stock Lego 42055. I did lock the turn in and undid all the power to make it move. Added a few things back here to keep the balls in, but other than that, it's stock. Seems to be doing good. Leaks a few balls here and there. There's just it's a pusher upper, I guess is what they call it. I found the instructions on rebrickable. I brought it last year. It fell apart in 5 minutes. Took it home, redesigned the drive on it. Been out of hitch all weekend. My flag stepper. Just basic stepper. And then these are guys, but this is mine too. Last year we needed a bridge, so I built a bridge.
Sticking with the construction theme here.
Yeah, that's kind of where I live. Just use the Liebherr 13,000 lattice booms and just worked on it for a few months to get it dialed in. Been working pretty good this weekend.
Okay. Excellent work. Thank you. And then finish out here.
I'm Guy, and I've got 3 modules here. This is this year's GBC, and it's flowing into my triple stepper. And so I had downloaded a design for just this one module here, and I really like this flow, but I said I wanted it to go longer. So I duplicated this 2 more times and worked on the gearing for a while and got it to all flow together. And then that flows into last year's pusher, which I added some pirates on the little merry-go-round, Ferris wheel, and just for this year's design, and that's it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And I think that brings us back to the beginning then.
It does indeed, yeah. That's around the houses from people from all sorts of states across the area, like Brandon's from Wyoming. Guy and a lot of guys are from Nevada. Obviously, I'm down from Canada, and we've got Washington State and Nebraska covered off as well. So it's very much a sort of continent-wide effort, and it's good to see that we've got such a group of people that work well together doing this sort of thing.
Yeah, and it's really cool to see it growing here, specifically at Brick Slopes, like you said, just to see how much it's grown in the last couple of years.
Yeah, very much so. So we are always looking to grow. The big focus for next year is, again, I want to grow again, but Lauren has the golf course set. Laura and I have talked about going for a full 18 holes on the end of the GBC for next year. So hopefully everybody that is here can come back, bring a golf hole, and then anybody else who wants to come join us and spend a week in Salt Lake, come on out and bring a golf hole, add to the group. We would like to be even bigger. We are already at 11 tables. Why not go bigger?
Sounds good.
Bigger the better.
Fantastic work here. Thank you to you and all the builders involved here. It's always great to see all the modules that come out here, so keep up the great work.
Great. Thanks, Josh, for coming out.